You know, the biggest natural resource issue in the nation today is what are we going to do about salmon? Salmon recovery in the Columbia River Basin. And an issue is the Snake River, where 70% of the remaining habitat is in the Snake River watershed. An issue with those fish is how to get them back and forth from the ocean, because right now they have to traverse 8 dams. And it's not that any one dam is so bad, it's the cumulative effect of 8 of them. For the fish that go through the turbines, the mortality can be 10 to 12%, which any one dam isn't so bad. But when you line up 8 of them, between the most and the best habitat remaining in the Columbia Basin, it's devastating to these fish. The wild fish in the Snake Basin, yeah, there's some blips where maybe better ocean conditions or better flow down the Columbia and spill makes the runs bounce back up a few thousand. But overall, long term, they're marching towards extinction. Some people say, well, hey, the predators are the problem. Get rid of these seals and sea lions, birds, all that stuff. Get rid of them and everything will be good. Well, I've been around long enough that I know that's really not true. Yes, it's an issue. They are an issue and they need to be controlled. But I remember in the mid-90s when the entire upriver bound run of spring Chinook over Bonneville Dam was 10,300 fish, long before the birds and the sea lions were so prevalent. It wasn't them then and it's not them now. Yeah, they're an issue, but the hydro dams is what's killing them. They just can't traverse, they can't make it back and forth with 8 dams in place. If we're going to recover salmon, we got to start by removing those 4 dams on the lower Snake River. That's where it's at. And, you know, Congressman Mike Simpson came up with a plan. $33 billion was his original plan to breach those dams. Well, it cost $2 to $3 billion to breach them. All the rest was to shower that region with money. Federal money. We've spent money on far worse things than salmon recovery. And to shower that region with money is going to be a jobs program like we've never seen. Let's take care of everybody. I mean, I don't want to leave them anyone out in the cold. You know, if shippers need subsidized freight, let's give it to them. If irrigators need to irrigate out of a river instead of a reservoir, we can do that. There's been far more ambitious programs than achieving that. And if there's the will and the way with federal dollars to help make that happen, let's do it. If we need to improve the highway system and the rail system to make the Lewiston and Clarkson area more competitive with cities like Spokane, let's do that too. Because after all, we would lose barge transportation. But a new highway system that better services that area would be a boon to that region. You know, one of the biggest issues is how are we going to make up for the power production? Well, let me tell you, when the Trojan nuclear plant was going on and they shut it down, it was producing roughly, I think it's around 9 or 10,000 megawatts of power annually. These Snake River dams produce a similar, no one blinked then when they shut down Trojan. These dams in Lower Snake produce a similar amount of power, and most of that comes in the spring when the spring runoff is running all the turbines like crazy up and down the Columbia system, and the region is flush with power. Wind and solar have replaced the power produced by those Snake River dams 19 times. And what's the growth of that power going to be in the next 10 years? Probably off the chart. All this is doable. It's just finding the way. And the people that work with their congressmen, the industries that might be affected by the removal of these dams, if they work with their congressman and their senator to make sure they are taken care of, they'll be the ones that'll be taken care of. Those that fight it tooth and nail till the very end risk being left out. So, I've studied this issue hard. I've talked to a lot of biologists, a lot of people that are really in the know, and now is the time. If we don't achieve this within the next few years, we risk losing these fish, and we cannot let that happen.